Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely
So the night before my 16th birthday, I had something come into my bedroom. So I'm going to preface this by saying the night before my 4th birthday, my mom's mom passed away. So it's the middle of the night. I didn't have a clock in my room, so I'm going to guess by how long it took for the sun to come up that it was probably around 4 o'clock in the morning. And at this point in my life, I had 2 cats and they slept in bed with me with the door closed. And I woke up because they were both absolutely freaking out. And at the foot of my bed is a woman. She is turned away from me. She's got long, like, black hair, white nightgown. First, I think it's my mom, and then I realize this woman is, like, wet, like soaking wet. And she gets up, and when she stands up, it freaks one of my cats out, and she scratched me, which is how I know I wasn't asleep during this, because the next day, still had the scratch. And she kind of turns and starts to walk towards, the side of the bed that I'm on, kind of turn the corner and come up towards, like, the head of my bed. And when I see her face, I freeze. It can't move, can't blink, like, just staring, like, straight ahead. Won't really, like, look at her after I saw her face. And her skin is like a bluish gray color. Her eyes are completely black. And she has, like, all of her teeth are all pointed to, like, sharp points. And she is, like, smiling this, like, crazy big smile towards me as she's looking at me and moving up towards my face. And she gets next to my head and she kneels down and is just staring at me. And I don't move for hours, it felt like. And then the sun finally starts to come up. And when it does, she stands up and turns around towards the wall. And there's a door there that goes into the attic. And she just, like, walked straight through the door. And as soon as she's gone, I am, like, up out of my bed, door open, bolting down the steps to go to my mother. And I am, like, visibly upset as I tell her, what happened. And she starts to get upset and tells me that she thinks it's her fault because the night before, the night of my grandmother's, like, death anniversary, she had, like, kind of prayed, reached out to the universe and asked for a sign that there was, like, a life after death, that my grandma was okay, asked for my grandma to, like, speak to her. And she felt like, she opened a door for this thing to come into our house. Unfortunately, this is not the only time that something has happened to our family. My son, when we lived in my mom's house later when he was 2, and this is a different house, had multiple experiences with something in the home. My mom's house has its own thing going on. There's, like, multiple stories I could tell you of things happening in that house. My great-grandma's house had multiple things going on where multiple family members witnessed or experienced something. Even when my mom's dad passed away a few years ago, there is a recording that you can hear on the recording, like, ghosts or spirits or something, like, talking to my grandpa as he dies, including my mom's mom. So if you want any story times about any of those, let me know in the comments. So we just had something happen in our house literally, like, a few minutes ago. So we're upstairs, it's shower time for everybody. My youngest son is sitting in bed with me talking about Mother's Day. My 2 daughters are in the bathroom in my room. One's in the shower, one's brushing her teeth. And my oldest son is in the hall bath taking his shower. And he says that he heard the door shake first, but him, me, my son, my other son, heard something, like, it sounded like something, like, slammed into the door, like, punched the door, like, really hard. I hear him call out. I'm thinking, like, it's him. He called out and was like, did somebody just hit the door? And I just kind of, like, played it off with everybody and just kind of made some excuses. And I've gotten everybody through the shower except for my youngest son, who's in right now, and just told them to go downstairs and have my youngest son showering right here. But that just happened. So if it was paranormal, it's not just my daughter anymore. My uncle captured a picture of my great-grandmother in the window of her old home years after she had passed. I'm going to show that picture in a minute, so if you don't want to see it, I would scroll. It is a little scary. She moved into this house in 1950, and when she passed, the house went on to belong to her daughter, my great-aunt Nancy, my grandmother's sister, and my great-aunt Nancy's husband, Uncle Franklin. This photo was taken after my Uncle Franklin had died, the day of his funeral. At that point, his wife, my great-aunt Nancy, had already passed away as well, so no one was in the house when this picture was taken. My uncle stopped by the house to take pictures of it because my Aunt Nancy's daughter planned to sell the home, and he was taking pictures of the exterior for that purpose when he caught this photo. So here's the photo. You can see her glowing eyes, her nose, the outline of her hair, clothing. As you can tell, she is mostly see-through, as she is as dark as the room she's in, which lights were off in the house, obviously, as no one was there. This is a picture taken in pretty rapid succession. In the first one, she's not there, and the second one she is, and in the third one, she is gone again. This is the first, apparition that we've caught on camera. We do have other photos taken back in, the 90s. So that would have been on hard photo of orbs floating around my grandmother's grave when her headstone was put in place, as well as orbs around members of our family. I am working on getting copies of those. I'm sorry, her little photo keeps popping up and it scares me. I am working on getting copies of those, and we'll post them when I have them. And I am also going to post some more stories about the house that this picture was captured in, because there are a lot.